that the Ondo State Chairman, Mr. Gabriel Adeyemi, Awe, to come and take us through the NIM Code of Conduct. Okay, the President. Let me invite the National President and of course our Chairman for today to come and take us through the NIM Code of Conduct. Can we put our hands together for the National President? Commodore Abimbola Olaribigbe Ayuba retired. Can we have a microphone? Can we get another microphone to...
Shall we be upstanding, please? As is traditional for us, I would like us to come to page 2 of the program so that we can read. We can recite the national anthem, and then the national prayer, and then that's the third stanza of the national anthem. Sorry. And then we recite a pledge, and those of us who are members of the Institute will now go with me on the NIM Code of Conduct. So let's move on to the third stanza of the national anthem, which is the national prayer. Shall we go together? O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria will be blessed. Amen. Now to the national pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, help Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity and uphold her honor. So help me God. Thank you. Now to the Code of Conduct. All members of the Institute are bound to this code, and when we say that you please mention your name to own it, and those who are members, if you choose to recite with us, know that you are doing rehearsal for membership. Thank you. Let's go, please. That I, Abimbola Ayuba, as a professional manager, will put service above self and will ever seek to find and employ more efficient and more economical ways of getting things done. That I, Abimbola Ayuba, as a professional manager, accept the most scrupulous and ethical process of thought for all decisions in my daily work, and be myself free of any fraudulent and or corrupt practices, and within the scope of authority, treat all persons as being equal, and refuse to give special favors or privileges to anyone. So help me God. Thank you very much. Our summit is now well constituted. Shall we be seated? Thank you.
Shall we applaud the National President? The National President NIM, the Registrar, other distinguished guests here, permit me to recognize and bring to the top table our keynote speaker for today, Professor Olatunbo Olabode, Head of Department, Data Science Department, School of Computing, FUTA, is ably represented here by Professor Akintola Kolawole from the Software Engineering Department, School of Computing, Federal University of Technology, Akure. You're welcome, sir. At this point, I would like to invite the Zonal Chairman, Alhaji Ebun Atsinuke, FNIM, for his welcome address. Shall we put our hands together for the Zonal Chairman?
This is a welcome address being presented by the Southwest Zonal Chairman of the Nigerian Environment Chartered, Southwest Zone, Alhaji Egunwatinuke FNIM, on the occasion of the year 2025 Southwest Zonal Summit and visit of the President and Chairman of Council to the zone. The Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, the Deputy Governor of Ondo State, my able President and Chairman of Council, Commodore Abimbola Oladipe Ayuba, retired FNIM, the Registrar and Chief Executive, Mrs. Taiwo Olushesi, MNIM, esteemed council members here present, my ever reliable members of the Zonal Executive Council, life members of the Institute, distinguished fellows, branch chairmen, chapter chairmen, distinguished members of the zone, ladies and gentlemen, and of course not forgetting members of the fourth estate of the realm, that is the press. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and honored members of the Nigerian Environment Chartered, it gladdens my heart as I welcome you to this gathering, and also a great joy to be here at the capital of the Sunshine State, Ondo State, where we are having this year's annual Zonal Summit. Ondo State happens to be an oil-producing state, and it has an outstanding agrarian environment. It's one of the leading states in cocoa, palm oil, kola nuts, banana production, and highly rich in bitumen, the largest deposit in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Can you please put hands together for Ondo State? Ondo State, as an oil-producing state, is an outstanding agrarian environment. Okay, the zone, which comprises of Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, Osun, and Oyo, is doing excellently well, just like other zones, and has emerged as one of the best zones of the Institute. In fact, as you speak, your zone, the Southwest Zone, is the champion of the Institute, because it is the award-winning zone as the best zone throughout the federation known as Nigeria. Let us appreciate the Southwest Zone. And it might interest us to know that the president is actually from your zone, the Southwest Zone. I want to as well extend my warmest greetings to the Governor of Ondo State, His Excellency Honorable Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa, for creating enabling environment for both public and private enterprise to function well, and his deputy, Honorable Dr. Olaide Owolabi Adelani, a distinguished fellow of the Institute, for the warm reception for our members, first at the council visit and some members some weeks ago, acceding to some of our requests and giving us warm welcome since yesterday. Your Excellency, sir, we appreciate you. The theme, building resilient organizations, the role of professional managers in uncertain times, resonates deeply with our mission. As we navigate the complex global challenges, professional management is crucial for organizational resilience. Our institute remains committed to empowering leaders and promoting best practices in management. Through our programs, certifications, and events, we equip professionals with the skills needed to drive sustainable growth and development. I want to use this medium to inform all my esteemed members of the Nigerian Zonal Shattered Southwest Zone of our forthcoming extraordinary general meeting. By the grace of God, by next week Friday, specifically 25th of July, we are all expected to converge at the NECA House, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, starting from 11 a.m. The essence of the extraordinary general meeting is to ensure that we have a uniform way by way of our transition and council membership. So by the grace of God, the main purpose of the extraordinary general meeting is for us to take a decision on the main issue that the registrar has actually given a notification for, in line with our bylaw, 21 days notification. And please, my members, because the program will be coming up in our zone, it will come up on Friday next week in Lagos. Financially up-to-date members are expected to attend, where we expect nothing less than 200 members to attend physically. So I want to count on you, as always, to ensure that we mobilize ourselves to be at the meeting physically. And for those that may not be able to attend physically, for you, there will be provision for online participation, because we will have a target audience of not less than 200-300. So are you giving me your words that you'll be there either physically or virtually? Yes. I can't hear you. Yes. Please put your hands together for yourself. And of course, to also remind us that by the grace of God, next week, some of us will be at Uyo for the WIMLEAD program, that is Women in Management and Leadership Development, specifically designed for our women folk. It will come up at Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Date 21st to 23rd, which is next week. There will be an opportunity for our women folk to please be enhanced and brought to speed as far as the global issues that has been earmarked as a theme for the seminar is concerned. Our annual National Management Conference, which happens to be our pilot program, has been scheduled to come up between the 7th and 9th of September this year in Abuja. The registration fee is 100,000 naira for members, and it is ongoing. So I want to plead with us to ensure that we update ourselves as far as knowledge acquisition is concerned. I would like to express my gratitude to our members, partners, and stakeholders for their unwavering support. Together, we continue to build a stronger, more resilient Nigeria through professional management. And before I drop the mic, let me also inform us that, my President, sir, when you will be visiting my zone next year, the Southwest Zone, we will be receiving you in the capital city of Oyo State, which is Ibadan, by the grace of God. So our 2026 Zonal Summit and presidential visits is now being formally informed to our members that it will come up in Ibadan. Of course, it will come up in July. By the time we work out the logistics of the specific dates, we'll get across to us. So I want to appreciate all of us and plead with us to please, as professional managers, let us exhibit that high level of professionalism that we are noted for. And especially, I want the President to go back home with the sound and total conviction that Out of all the zonal zones that he has visited so far, the Southwest Zone will be the best by the grace of God. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the Southwest Zone Chairman of the NIM. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the mission of the National President and Chairman of Council, NIM, I would like to invite to the top table as one of our discussants, that's Dr. Ayorinde Olurinde Ogunruko, MNIM. You are welcome to the top table, sir. I also have the honor to invite the representative of the Ondo State Commissioner of Police, the Area Commander Akure, ACP Akinroye Kabiru, to please join our guest on the high table. Thank you, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recognize two of our guests. They are the guests of the National President, Brigadier General Joe Komolafe, retired. You are welcome once again, sir. And also Air Commodore Kole Omirin, retired. You are welcome once again, sir. At this point, I have the singular honor and privilege to invite the President and Chairman of Council, NIM, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired, FNIM FDC, for his opening remarks. Please, can we keep applauding him as he comes to the podium?
Please be seated. Thank you. The Registrar and Chief Executive, Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered, council members here present. I see Princess Stella Olaniyan, who is also a member of the Executive Committee, ESCO, of the Institute of Management Chartered. We also have recognized Commodore retired Sunday Ogunpade, who is also a council member, is here with us. Our distinguished guest speakers, special representatives of various heads of security organizations here. Let me also personally recognize my two very dear colleagues who I have specially invited here. They've been earlier recognized in person of Brigadier General Joe Komolafe. We call him General Joe. We please, once again, I know gentle giant, we call him, please rise so that they will see you again. He was also a one-time head of Amonteku in Ekiti State. Before he was the founder of Amonteku head. And I also have my second coursemate there, Air Commodore Kole Omiri is also here. They all live in Akure, and this month marks the 45th year that all of us went into Nigerian Defense Academy as officer cadets. I've not seen any of them in the last 10 years. So it was a privilege that I came into Akure, and we've been talking, but we've not seen eye to eye. So you can imagine why I wanted them to also be here. And I'm telling them that in a few months, they should be professional managers also. Even though they are retired, they can manage retirement. You know, there's management in everything. Their zonal chairman is a council member. Once I mention council member, I always know that, but I must distinguish him. Zonal chairman Laji Matinuke is a very dynamic person and leader. I want to thank you for all that you do. And the branch chairman here on this meeting, chapter chairs. I also want to recognize life members who are here, the great fellows of the Institute. They are the ones that wear this. Anytime you see this medallion, those are the fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Management. Other professional managers here are present in all your ramifications, because we also have graduate members, associate members, members of the Institute. I greet you and I welcome you. All our distinguished guests here that have been recognized and those that are here to be recognized, you are welcome. Distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here in this sunshine state, the capital, Akure, with a very beautiful and fine weather. In fact, sometimes if we knew we wouldn't be flying to Europe, we would like to fly in here to come and have our holidays. I hope in the future we will be able to make this very possible. And that cannot be made possible if professional members in our midst that are working in strategic ministries and organizations don't put efforts behind their leaders and make them to recognize the need for air, road transportation. The security of the state have to be top-notch, and then people feel safe to move around. And now I feel the state is well secured because I've moved around the night a little bit since I came, and none of us have had any incidents. So I want to thank the police and other security agencies for doing this marvelous job. I want to thank you for your hospitality since we came into Abuja. Sorry, you know why this Abuja is in my head? I live in Abuja, and I was to fly from Abuja to Akure, and the flight got cancelled. So maybe I had to fly to Lagos and came by road all the way. So thank you for welcoming us to Akure. And the members of the zone, we also, especially the LOC, we appreciate you. I cannot remember personally when a summit like this has been held in Akure or in any part of Ondo State. And this is why we try to rotate most of our events, share it evenly around the exigencies. So I thank the leadership of the zone for doing the needful and for bringing this summit, which is well established in our annual calendar of events. Some zones sometimes don't make it at all, but the Southwest zone has always been up to it. And this is perhaps why Alhaji Ebun Atinuke is always saying, cannot stop saying that they are number one in everything. But by the end of the year, maybe we'll be able to know, because there are other zones that we've not visited. But I believe that he's hopeful that they will retain the title. But if you don't be annoyed. So the theme of this summit, building resilient organizations, the role of professional managers in uncertain times, is quite germane and timely at this particular time, and for professional managers like us. And I have no doubt that the array of facilitators that we have, I've seen all of them, I've seen their profile, are highly competent to deal with the topical issues, and also the team of discussants that we've put behind this. I just want to appeal to us not to see this summit as a jamboree. Let us imbibe the learning, the unlearning, and the relearning processes that we're about to experience. But on the note of being a tax collector for the Institute, I want to remind us of our responsibility to pay our annual subscriptions, because that is the only time when you are recognized to be a full member under the law, under the act of the Institute. Please try your best. What we experience is that some of us, once we pay our chapter dues, we believe we are sorted out, and then we operate within the local environment, some as local champions. But if we need to call you for national service, and they check your profile, and you have not paid your subscription, your name will be dropped from any form of advancement, even up to upgrading and all that. So I'm emphasizing this because the Institute doesn't receive grants from anybody, not from government, not from any private institution. We rely on subscriptions paid by members, investments that the Institute have been able to put in place, and also by sponsorships, which we enjoy from time to time. So please, I appeal to you. Some people are looking at me with contempt. This man is, when Nigeria, you don't know how Nigeria be. Please, no matter how Nigeria is, we are all here. Me, I don't think of jackpine. I cannot stay abroad for more than 2 weeks maximum. I'm thinking of home. Because the quality of food, amala, gbegiri, and pounded yam, you can't find it in Europe. And when they give it to you, you pay nothing less than 20, 30 pounds in London for a plate of food. Calculate it and change to Naira. You understand what I mean. So, again, we would like also for you to try to attend all our events for the rest of the year. It has been ruled out clearly, those that are immediate. The next one we are doing is the EGM, which has been mentioned by the zonal chairman. Then we go to Uyo next week to do the women in management and leadership, which also promises to be exciting. And from there, it's just a volley of activities. Like I did say at the gala night, we held on Tuesday, we are trying to resuscitate our London branch, and also we are trying. I thought you will clap for us, because if you are going abroad, it's the London branch that may invite you to come. It was there in the past. We lost it to get it back on course. And recently, we were able to get a collaboration with the Protestant University of Rwanda, which is also a center of excellence for the government of Japan. So we go to Rwanda, it's visa-free. So this your Southwest Zonal Summit 2026, actually Alaji, can be done in Rwanda. It doesn't have to be in the physical state now. I'll be registered. You can bring it to Rwanda. There are many people here who would like to fly to those type of places. So it's visa-free. So I want to encourage you as professional managers. As we are going, we've tried to put a lot of benefits together. We are also resuscitating our group insurance, life insurance policy, and so that even though death is a morbid thought, but it's part of what value proposition that we want to give back to our members. And so many other packages are being worked out. Never mind the volume of pages that I'm opening. I'm trying to inform you just based on the key issues. So back to the theme of this particular summit, I wish to implore all of us to please try to imbibe most of the knowledge sharing experience once again that we have, we are set to have. It is quite important for us because the way the NIM is going, we are getting back to the top of our A game. And at any time we can call on our members to come and speak. And indeed, yesterday when you were climbing the Donre Hill, while our president was not climbing with the registrar, was because we had our distinguished management lecture running virtually. And it was attended by over 130 members from all over the country. And we were focusing on aspects of national security. And of course, its impact was well received. So, on a note of gratitude once again, I want to thank you all for finding time, leaving all your daily work schedules to be here. I want to thank all our donors, sponsors, supporters who have ensured that this particular summit is holding. And once again, I wish you all fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much for listening.
Shall we sustain the applause for the President? And of course, the only president in our midst. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Before British Journal of Mathematics and Computer Science and Issues in Business Management and Economics. He was an external examiner at Novena University, Delta State, Joseph Ayo Babalola University, Kejara Keji, Achievers University of One King's College, Odeomu. He was also a postgraduate examiner at Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko. Caleb University in Malta, and Karayuna Institute of Technology in India. For his work experience, he worked as a graduate assistant before becoming an assistant lecturer, lecturer 2, senior lecturer, associate professor, and a professor in computer science department, FUTA, and also a lecturer on contracts in business information systems, University of Botswana, between 2009 and 2011. He was awarded fellowships and grants during his course of academic voyage, award 2020 Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, National Academics of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine, among others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Professor Olatunbosun Olabode, ably represented here this beautiful morning by Professor Akintola Kolawole, to speak to us on the theme of this summit, building resilient organizations, the role of professional managers in uncertain times. Thank you very much.
Good morning. The NIN President and Chairman, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired. The Registrar, Southwest Zonal Chairman, the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Akure, all security personnel here, NIN members and all invitees. The keynote speaker is unavoidably absent, and I am hereby representing him on the topic titled Building Resilient Organizations, the Role of Professional Managers in Uncertain Times, with the team emphasizing digitalized management and artificial intelligence in 21st century management. Who is a professional? A professional is someone who engages in a specific occupation or activity, typically requiring specialized knowledge, skills, and training, and often for financial gain. They are often held to specific ethical and performance standards within their various fields. The key aspect of being a professional includes specialized knowledge and skills. Professionals possess expertise in a particular area, often acquired through formal education, training, and on-the-job experience. Then conduct. Professionals are expected to adhere to a code of ethical and maintain integrity in their work. Competence and reliability. Professionals are expected to demonstrate competence in their field and be reliable in their work. Commitment to quality. Professionals strive for high quality work and continuous improvement. Then potential for financial gain, as we have discussed. Then from there, we come to who is a professional manager. A professional manager is an individual responsible for planning, organizing, leading, and controlling resources. And these resources include people, finances, technology, and so on and so forth. Every organization, including this very organization we are now, must have an arm of management. Core responsibility, like as we have told, is to plan. How to plan, to organize, to lead, and to control. There are some skills a professional manager should possess. As outlined, we have leadership, communication, decision-making, emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, problem-solving, and delegation. The key characteristics of professional managers: formal education and training, non-ownership role, that is, they act on behalf of the owners of that organizations. They must be accountable, goal-oriented, and they must be strategic thinkers. Then, of course, we come to resilience. Nowadays, all over the world, things are no longer predictable. We experienced recently what happened during the COVID-19 era, where everybody was locked at home. We are living in a world that is defined by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In terms of volatility, rapid and unpredictable changes with no clear pattern or trend. Things are just moving anyhow, like sudden economic crashes, supply chain disruptions, drastic shifts in consumer behavior. Then we have uncertainty, which means lack of predictability. We cannot predict what can happen any moment, or certain government policies or regulations. Emerging technologies. Technology is moving at an unpredictable fashion. New competitions in the market. Then complexity. Many interconnected parts and variables that influence outcomes. Global market interconnected by technology, by finance, by things are becoming complex. Then ambiguity, which means lack of clarity. So, in the sense, in the face of all these things we are talking about, how can organization adapt? How can they survive? That is the essence of what we are talking about. The ability of a company to withstand, adapt to, and recover from disruptions is what is termed resilience. And it involves leadership agility, adaptive workforce, digital transformation, risk management, and financial stability. Understanding organization resilience. Resilience is more than just the ability to survive disruption. It is the capacity to anticipate, absorb, adapt to, and even thrive through adversity. That is, we don't wait until the problem occurred before we start resolving it. We must be able to anticipate likely future scenarios, absorb, then adapt to, and even thrive through the adversity. During the era of COVID-19, we didn't prepare for it. Even the advanced countries, they were thinking that there will be many loss of life in African countries. They projected it that there will be, but God helped us to, survive the situation. A resilient organization must respond swiftly to change. We must respond to change swiftly, maintain continuity of critical operations. Like that COVID-19 we are referencing now, many operations stopped, but online things were moving on. They told us we should not come out, but trading was going on online. This is an example of continuity. In the time of adversity, how can we continue our operations and pivot their strategies to seize the new opportunities? That is to say, when things are not, going on well, how do we change strategy? For instance, in that era now, many institutions like this were adopting online learning. While some that didn't prepare, they stopped their program, especially the private institutions. They were still delivering their lectures online using, technology. That's what we are talking about, changing strategy. Talking about resilience, capacity to anticipate, absorb, and to even thrive through adversity. We have all this, anticipate, proactively identify potential risks and trends before they become threats. Absorb, like shock absorber, withstanding shocks without catastrophic failure. Adapt, adjusting quickly and effectively in response to change. And thrive, leveraging disruption as a catalyst for innovation and growth. The role of professional manager in uncertain times. Professional managers serve as the stabilizing core of organizations in uncertain times to become strategists. We rely on them to become strategists and to become innovators, to become crisis navigators, and of course to become communicators. More importantly, they embody agility and accountability, driving organizations toward long-term sustainability. What I've just discussed is what is itemized here in detail. Crisis navigators make tough decisions under pressure, grounded in data and ethics, like identification of a crisis, assessment of the impact, development of strategy, the implementation of action, communication, review, and adaptation. Then we have innovators like digital marketing, cloud computing, cybersecurity. This area are the area of the technology we are talking about. And also we have what is called strategy, which involves scanning the environments, monitoring the external and internal environments towards knowing the next direction. Then, of course, we have effective communication. Then we move to embracing digitized management. Nowadays, any organizations that must thrive must embrace digitalization. What do I mean by digitalization? It is the application of digital technologies in business, either in the models, in the operations, and so on and so forth. And that is the latest technology now. the 21st century manager must, embrace. Digital fluency is now as important as financial literacy. That is to say, people must embrace digitalization and digital knowledge. The digital revolution in management, digitalization management, that is the use of technology to improve decision making and operational efficiency. You know, managers are the people in the realm of affairs of any organization. They make decisions on behalf of that organization. They tell us the direction and so on and so forth. Now, these are what digital systems and artificial intelligence can help us do also. For instance, we talk nowadays about big data analytics, about cloud computing, about Internet of Things, IoT. All these technologies can help us to make informed decisions. For instance, big data analytics now, we can analyze vast amount of historical data based on what has been happening in future and be able to forecast what we are expected to see in future. Then in cloud computing, organizations nowadays, we are trying to dissuade them from owning their system, their computational systems, computers, and all those accessories in their premises. So we have data centers all over the world now where people can host their systems or applications, thereby encourages scalability and reduction in cost. Since you are not going to buy all these things, it's like electricity. You want to make computation look like electricity, whereby you just on it, connect to it, and use it to enhance your work. And of course, we have artificial intelligence, building systems now that functions like human beings are in vogue now. Advanced countries have started using these technologies in their country. So these are the things we are talking about. AI system that can assist managers to do their work. We have a lot of them like that. Nadella, who happened to be a manager of Microsoft, said, and I quote, "The thing that we have learned, I would say, in the last 5 months is that digital technology is becoming perhaps the most key to business resilience." And like I've told you, like I've said, we have some of this array of technology that I've talked about, big data analytics, cloud computing, Internet of Things, and so on and so forth. AI in 21st century management's role in resilient organization include predictive analytics for risk assessments, automation of operational processes, real-time decision making. Nowadays, in banks now, we use this technology to know whether we can give a customer a loan he has applied for, thereby reducing loan defaultees. The automation of processes. Things are becoming streamlined using technology. And like I've said, real-time decision making. Doctors are using this thing also. You go to hospitals now, some doctors are using all these our machine learning tools like ChatGPT to diagnose on your behalf without you even knowing about it. Why resilience matters than ever. In today's volatile global landscape, marked by pandemics, geopolitical instability, economic uncertainty, and rapid technology change, organizational resilience is no longer an option. Organizations must anticipate threats respond swiftly, sustain operation, and adapt their strategies in order to stay competitive. Otherwise, they can just be off the market. I attended one seminar some time ago, and that resource person said that organizations that are online now are making big money than the ones that are not online. He made mention of the Amazon, all these big, they make money now more than oil companies because they embrace what? Technology. And maybe they were able to, foresee the future. They were able to foresee the future and strategize as early as possible. During the pandemic, why those people could not sell much, they were just making millions of naira online, or dollars, let me say, because I don't think Nigeria has a online presence like that. Predictive analytics for risk assessments, automation of operational processes. That is, nowadays, we should not rely much on labor-intensive jobs. We should look at how machines can help us in carrying out our work. Real-time decision making, I've talked about it, and strategic adaptation and innovation by building business models, by optimizing our services and our products, and by data-driven culture. The competitive advantage of AI in management includes speed and precision in decision making. Make your decision on time, hyper-personalization, and customer insights. This has to do with customer relationship management. This is being used in all this our online e-commerce scenario, whereby you can personalize and customize for your customers. Then operational excellence and cost efficiency, innovation. Now, AI in talent management. We have personalized learning and skill development. We are in the era of learning now, and we should be using AI in learning. AI can help us to learn and adapt quickly. Then in skill developments, AI also can be used in assisted hiring and what is normally called onboarding. That is, AI are being used now by managers to hire efficient workers and also to train them. Challenges in implementing AI and digital management, we have the ethical concerns, which focuses on AI bias. Algorithm may have uncertainty leading to unfair outcomes. Then data privacy, there is another concern area now, because when you embrace digital transformation, it is possible that your data may not be hosted within your domain, like that cloud we are talking about now. All the record will be there, and people are, concerned about privacy and the cost. Our strategy for BDI resilient organization, we must invest in AI and digital infrastructures, train our workforce for AI integration, and the security aspects also must not be left alone. We must foster a culture of innovation and develop our AI ethics. Now, implication for professional managers. To effectively harness AI for organizational resilience, organizations must invest in digital infrastructure. They must foster a data-driven culture. That is, in making their decisions, they must rely on historical data. It is so very unfortunate that in Nigeria, we are not concerned about this aspect. We are doing a research on Earth. You look for European countries for data. The data is not there in Nigeria. You are looking nearly in all areas, with the exception of these people, metrology people, that has a handful and data. But to embrace this technology, we must know how we can collect historical data. Because when we want to embrace data-driven technology, you need historical data to predict the future. Then collaboration across departments. Departments cannot afford to live in silos or work in silos any longer. The same thing is applicable to individuals. We are in the era of collaboration now. We cannot work alone any longer. In fact, the structure we had before, the hierarchy we had before is changing from hierarchical now to distribution, where we see ourselves as partners in progress. We work together. We do things together. So that is the area we are moving in. Then ensure ethical, secure, and transparent AI use. The role of professional managers in these scenarios now. Number one, I've talked about vision and direction. They must have vision. They must be able to strategize. They must be able to set goals and have a clear roadmap. Then motivation. Motivation and inspiration, embrace change. Effective communication, building trust. Then ability to manage resistance to change. You agree with me that organizations don't want to change easily. But it is the responsibility of the managers to enforce the change. Change in terms of people, in terms of the structures, and in terms of the what? Of the processes that the organizations are using. The ability to communicate against stakeholder engagements. You must communicate and gain their engagements, both the management team and the followers. They must cooperate. Decision making and problem solving skills. Solving complex problems. Empowering our teams. We need it. Then build the correct culture. Things are changing. We must have environment that fosters innovation, environment that fosters collaboration and resilience. Conclusion and call to action. AI and digital management are the future of resilient organizations. Manager must adapt. Strategic leadership, innovation, and ethical AI use. Final thoughts. How can your organization embrace AI-driven resilience? Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Shall we sustain the applause? Before I invite the moderator to take over for the discussion, I will quickly like to recognize and bring to the high table the representative of the DG of Akure. Kabiesi is highly represented here by I Chief Filani Folorunsho. Kabiesi. Okay. We want members of the high table to please move to this side so that we can have the discussants. And let me invite now our moderator, Mrs. Olawumi Famuyiwa, MNIM, Director General, Bureau of Civic Orientation and Citizenship, Ekiti State. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, our coordinator for this program. Permit me to humbly recognize our dignitaries as already established earlier in the course of this program. It's a huge honor and privilege for me to be moderating this session. My case is just like that student that went to an examination hall and he was given a question to write about the life and times of Jesus Christ. And by the time he was responding to the question, he said, how can I, me, a mere mortal being, begin to write about the life and times of my Savior? I see myself as not capable. So I see myself as, well, God's grace helped me this morning to moderate this session. I have my Oga, who is seated there, our former registrar, OAU, Dr. Oguruku. You're welcome, sir. And also, in another plan, I have the wife of my own chapter chairman, also as one of the panelists. Can you see the quagmire, the quagmire I have now? So, but nevertheless, I will not take our time because time is a resource that cannot be wasted. So I want us to quickly, the keynote speaker has spoken extensively on the theme of this summit, but we have our panelists who will be doing justice to this session, and whereby I want us to please make use of our jotters and our biros to put down questions that might be agitating our minds as they begin to enlighten us further, taking it off from where the keynote speaker has stopped. Thank you so much for doing a good job, sir. You did so well. We are grateful. So permit me to welcome, first and foremost, Dr. Oguruku for his citation, Ayorinde Olurinde Oguruku, MNIM, as we have his citation before he makes his presentation. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ayorinde Olurinde Oguruku was born 7 decades ago at Ido Ekiti to the family of late Chief and Chief Mrs. Michael Aino and Folaromi Oguruku. He attended Omodewa School, Ido Ekiti, from 1960 to 1965, Ekiti Parapo College, Ido Ekiti, from 1966 to June 1973 for his school certificate and higher school certificate. He thereafter proceeded to the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, in October 1973, and graduated in June 1978. He went back to the same institution in 1988 for a master's degree program in public administration and obtained the MPA degree in 1990. He also attended the Galilee International Management Institute, Israel, in 2005 and 2013 respectively, and obtained certificates in higher education management. Mr. Ayorinde Oguruku had a stint as a teacher at the Notre Dame College, Usi Ekiti, after his higher school certificate in 1973, and at Imade College, Ondo State, from 1979 to 1982 January, where he joined the service of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. He rose through the ranks to become a deputy registrar in FUTA in 1998 and acting registrar in 2006. In June 2007, Mr. Ayorinde Oguruku was appointed as registrar and secretary to the Council of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. He held the office meritoriously for 6 years and completed his tenure on May 31, 2013. is currently the managing partner of Avon Leafs Global Consult Limited, a higher education management and human resource consultancy based in Akure, Ondo State. In the course of his career, Mr. Ogorukwu served as the National Secretary and later National Training Officer of the Association of Nigerian Universities Professional Association, ANUPA. He also served as the National Chairman of the Committee of Registrars of Nigerian Universities, KONU, for 2 years. He served as the consultant to many universities in Nigeria, including the University of Ibadan, University of Lagos, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, amongst many other universities. Mr. Ogorukwu was on the Nigerian delegation to the centenary celebration of the Association of Commonwealth Universities held in the United Kingdom in October 2013. He is a member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, member Institute of Personnel Management Nigeria, member Association of Nigerian Universities Professional Association, member ACU Human Resource Management, fellow Chartered Institute of Public Administrators of Nigeria, and fellow Institute of Corporate Administration of Nigeria. He has attended many conferences and delivered papers both in Nigeria and abroad. Mr. Ogorukwu, married to Deborah Oluwayemisi, is a practicing Christian and member of many Christian organizations, including the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International and the Gideons International. On the 30th of November 2024, he was awarded an honorary doctorate degree, Doctor of Business Administration by the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first discussion this morning, Dr. Ayanride Oluride Ogorunko. A round of applause.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, sir, distinguished leaders of NIN, participants at this summit, it's a great pleasure to have 10 minutes to discuss the paper already presented, and I will just do that very quickly. I extend protocols as have been established. Number one, we are living in a VUCA world. A world that is marked by deep uncertainty, complex, ambiguous. And that is where we as professional managers are expected to play our roles. I must say that organizations are places that are made of men. Human beings, and human beings are the most complex of God's creation. For us, therefore, to be able to manage man, money, and materials in a volatile world, there is need for us to do more than we normally have been doing. Organizational resilience is the ability of an organization to anticipate, prepare for, and respond to disruptions. And disruptions will come because human beings are unpredictable. And it's important to do this because that's the only thing that can enhance the ability to withstand the crises that are going to come and prepare for a long-term sustainability and growth of the organization. That nothing at all will put the organization down, no matter what the circumstances may be. We need to foster a culture of innovation and adaptability. Looking at the things that are coming, how are we well able to adapt to the situations and ensure that the system keeps running? The speaker has spoken so well about what we had during the COVID times, and every organization was affected. And people had to sit at home. Challenges came. As managers, what do we do to keep organization going while these kind of situations arise? Because there is need to improve on the stakeholders' trust, no matter what the circumstances may be, that we are doing what we are supposed to do. What are the issues that disrupt organizations? Number one, political instability. Number two, social upheavals, riots, wars, and other social responses to policies. Economic instability, foreign exchange challenges, and so on. How do these affect the way we run? And of course, majorly, technology and innovations, which the speaker spoke very eloquently about. What then should be our roles? 4 things I want to interrogate here. Number 1, need for strategic leadership. And the leader is not just looked at in form of the seat that he sits upon. It's his capacity to show knowledge, skills, vision, and self-management to ensure the accomplishment of organizational objectives. Secondly, capacity for risk management and mitigating such risks such that nothing at all falls under. Number 3, capacity to build culture of resilience and adaptability. And number 4, developing and implementing resilient business models that can work. We need to do this to ensure that organizations continue to run with minimal disruptions. And of course, to do this, we need to foster a culture of innovation and experimentation, encouraging open communication. Ladies and gentlemen, the times of just reeling out orders is over. People want to be convinced about why things have to be what they are supposed to be, so that you can carry them along. If you just give orders without really getting them participated, you can be sure there are going to be resistance. And when there is resistance, it creates another crisis. We need to develop a growth mindset, learning from our failures. Because we are humans, there are errors. And it is your capacity to look behind that makes you be able to go forward. You know, Yorubas have this proverb. The essence of our capacity as managers to be able to look at antecedents, to move forward, to get things done properly. And of course, the need to build a sense of community and teamwork. Leadership is very strategic in this matter. Capacity to provide clear vision and direction. When the leader does not know the way, and everywhere is way, what happens? You carry people into floundering. Number 2, we need to make informed decisions that are data-driven. We need to be able to use data to be able to forecast and take decisions that will stand the test of time at all times. We need to encourage collaboration, and the speaker spoke so well about this, and getting stakeholders' engagement involved in our decision-making processes. And of course, we need to demonstrate empathy, which we refer to as emotional intelligence, in our operations. I just want to conclude by referring to the case of Amazon that he mentioned, but much more so maybe because of my own orientation. Let me refer to what Harvard University did at the time that this crisis of COVID came. It was no surprise to them that it was coming. Like many people were disrupted, Harvard continued to run. Why? Because they knew what was coming. They were able to engage themselves and engage their students through digital, through the internet. He spoke about Internet of Things. Internet runs the world today. And now AI is the thing that is. If you are a professional manager and you are not into these issues, you are better good for the museum. Because the world is changing. The right man for the job today is a man that can really operate and look at the way information are being passed on the world over. SARS, your handset is enough to do enough for you to get yourself ready. I will conclude by saying, when you are a manager concerned about man, money, materials, the world that we are living in is made possible and directed through the availability of information through the internet. Get yourself engaged in this, and then things will move further. Thank you very much indeed.
Please, let's put our hands together very well for him once again. He has proven to us that he's a professional manager. He has been able to speak within the time allocated to him, and he still have a few minutes left. Thank you so much, Dr. Ayonride, for that. One thing that stands out from all that he has told us is that no doubt we are living in a time of uncertainty. And for professional managers to be able to adapt to the uncertainty of these times, we must be focused. We must have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Like some managers will say, since this organization began, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, and they're not ready for change. One thing that is imminent in life, or that is dynamic, is change. We must, as professional managers, be able to adapt to the change in times. Thank you so much, sir. I know we all have questions bothering our minds, but please, let's put it down together. At the end of this, both presentations, we'll now pose our questions. For time, space of time, I will also want to let us know that each speaker has 10 minutes. Just hold on. And after they have spoken, we can have our questions posed at them. So on this note, I want to welcome please let's have an abridged recitation because of our time. We are managers and we must be able to manage our times very well. Thank you so much. The next speaker will be Dr. Mrs. Rachel Shade Akimbo. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for her.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rachel Shade Akimbo, a distinguished scholar from the Data Science Department of the School of Computing at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa. She has made significant contributions to the field of computer science, particularly in machine learning and intelligent systems. Dr. Akimbo earned her Bachelor of Science in Computer Science from Adekunle Ajasin University. She furthered her master's degree in Computer Science from Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, and completed her PhD in the same institution. Her research focuses on applying machine learning techniques to on healthcare applications. One of her prominent work includes the classification of viral pneumonia disease with a symbol learning technique, which aims to enhance the prompt and efficient prediction of pneumonia disease through technological application. Beyond her research endeavors, Dr. Akimbo is a dedicated educator, mentor, and advocate for women's representation in STEM. Dr. Akimbo's professional aspiration includes becoming a standout solution developer and making a meaningful impact on students, institutions, communities, and the nation at large. Her journey exemplifies the power of dedication, innovation, and pursuit of excellence in academia. Today, Thursday, 17th July 2025, permit me to present to you Dr. Rachel Shade Akimbo, NMIN, as one of the discussants of the theme, Building Resilience Organization, the role of professional managers in uncertain times. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm standing on the existing protocols. Permit me to recognize NIM President and Chairman of Council, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired FNIM, the Registrar, Southwest Zonal Chairman, and all delegate present, the representatives of DG of Akure, KBSO. And also want to recognize my Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Akure, I'm President of Professor Mrs. Adenike Oladije, and the keynote speaker, Professor Olab, ably represented by my Oga, Professor KG Akintola. Thank you very much. Today we are talking about building resilience organizations, the role of professional managers in uncertain times. I hope it's okay, thank God. Please, we need to look through because I'll have to run through it in 10 minutes. Yes, in today's rapidly changing business environment, building resilience organization has become a very serious priority for leaders, if you agree with me. and an ability for companies to adapt to market fluctuation and technological advancement, evolving customers' expectation and global disruption is essential for long-term success. And all these elements, when aligned properly, it will create a robust framework that enables organizations not to only survive but thrive in the face of challenges. In Doxina 2025 says that, this is a report of 2025, ability for organization to be able to, to stand firm during the course of challenges. That is why I represented that with this tree that breeze is blowing away and still remains standing strong. Uncertain times has always been around. Talk about the Second World War, talk about the First World War, talk about the COVID-19. It has always been there. But the issue is, how do we take this uncertainty as professional managers? How do we cope in the face of these uncertainties with our organizations, whether you are selling products or you are rendering services? How do you cope with uncertainty? And there are common causes, like my first discussant, Dr. Ogorokusa, have said. There are different things that triggers uncertainty. Number one is economic shift. We've seen it in the inflation, the market, technological advancement, regulatory changes, natural disasters and pandemics. We have that flooding issue in the northern side, even some part of west. We experienced flooding recently, and those people that are involved knew what they've lost as regards economic and even their social life. Then what about competitive pressures coming from competitors of your kind of organization? Then we also have internal factors. Then we talk about technological advancement, and this is my area, this is my field, this is where I will be coming up. We talk about digital transformation. For instance now, let me take a clip from what happened to me last week. We talk about cashless policies, it's part of it. Everything is aligned to digitalization. We have digitalization, and digital transformation as their father. I was driving home from school last week, and then I have intention of getting some aspects from items from the market. As I was driving along South Gate, I saw a lady hawking exactly what I wanted to buy from the market. And my house is kind of a bit far from the market. I looked at the lady and I was like, this is what I wanted to buy in the market. Let me just park. I parked my vehicle and I beckoned on the lady that, okay, I needed to get this item. And the lady said, oh, fine, thank you, ma. How many do you want? And I checked my purse. I discovered the cash I have in my pocket will not be enough for what I wanted to buy. But I asked the lady, how do we go about this? I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that again. Let me just continue driving. I will go to the market later. And the lady told me and said, ma, don't worry. I can collect transfer. You can do transfer to me. I have my account number, And I was so happy. I was like, oh, this person is very, very smart. And I was able to transfer the amount of money, having gotten the items. We talk about automation and AI. This is an area where we needed to focus. There are so many repetitive tasks that AI can do better for us. Why we professional managers concentrate our energy on better things that can be very productive for the company. Talk about the activities that requires human effort. We can leverage our energy on that. Why AI or automation does our things for us. Starting from attendance system, common attendance system, we'll be able to produce for you what you wanted. You don't have to be carrying books around, registering. The world have moved far away from that. You can create an attendance system to watch the way your workers are behaving towards attending or going to office early, and then how they go about it. And we talk about data analytics. I will be, talking more about this data analytics. I will run my slide down with time. Data analytics. Very recently, I want to tell you that FUTA is one of those topmost institutions in Nigeria whereby we are also evolving, and we make sure in FUTA that whatever that is happening internationally is being replicated here. A few years ago when I started my master, it was just only computer science department that we have, just to show professional managers that even at institution level, we are doing the same thing. Now, computer science, School of Computer Science we have 6 departments now. Talk about software engineering, information technology, information system, cyber security, and data science, which is our baby now. Now, everything in this life now is driven by data. What are data? Data are raw facts. Raw facts. I did a research. I may not be able to run through the entire slide. I will just show it out. Now, I did a research recently. Talk about pneumonia research. I got X-ray images from a particular health institution to be able to detect pneumonia disease. I got data just like my Oga, Professor KJ Akintola, stated in his report that we using international data, from white will not be a better representative of what we are going through in Nigeria. So now taking data, I took the first data, about 10,000 data from international public database. I use it and I place them on what we call data balancing to be able to know what is going on with that data. I discovered that international data, when I checked them, I discovered that 95% of that data did not have the disease called pneumonia, while 5% has pneumonia disease. Then when I got Nigerian data, I got about 3,600 from a health facility. It was so difficult after like 3 years, I was able to get. And when I run the same data balancing techniques on this data, it was the opposite. We can imagine. If I would have used that international data, it will have been something that's not a good representation of what we have in Nigeria. So about 95% of people having that chest X-ray has pneumonia disease. And to surprise you, they did not know that they are carrying pneumonia disease. What 5% was free. And I was able to come to conclusion that, in fact, this data is a fact that we needed. These are raw facts that can be able to help us through making decisions, making meaningful insight. You want to know your number of customers. You want to know the domains of your customers. You want to know where your customers reside to be able to know what promotional items you want to do for them or whatever. Data are now being used. And now, thank God, we are in data science department. It's our baby in School of Computing, and we are doing very well. So I don't want to take your time. I have several things on my slide, but with the question time, I believe I'll be able to get all this to you. Thank you very much.
Let's jam our hands together for her once again. Please put our hands together for her. She's done a fantastic job too. Well, this is meant to be a panel discussion. I expected our panelists to sit, and while I sit moderating, but well, it's adapting to change on certain times. So this uncertainty of this panel discussion. So one thing that stands out, and which I want us to keep in mind, is the fact that in these uncertain times, which she has emphasized, professional managers need to ensure that they keep data. And in this era of digitalization, we know that a lot of challenges we face in this nation. We discovered that a lot of data that were either to being kept in the analog way. At times you have people go burn down offices where they know that records are kept to hide some shady, activities of theirs. But in these times of digitalization, there's a need for us to ensure that we keep our data using the digital system. I was discussing with our first panelist that at times, even this digitalization that we are talking about have challenges. At times we have crash, the system crashing down. And in this time of, in our country where we have epileptic power supply, at times we might lose some of those data. But one thing that stands sure is that we must ensure that we keep our data, keeping it in the cloud. Is it in the cloud? Yeah, cloud keeping. So data is very, very important. She has enumerated on this, and I want us to please, we know that we are all managers here, and there are some areas that we can contribute also. So we want to welcome ideas from professional managers here. From each row, we'll take one person. So if you want to contribute, or you have, before the questions, can we have our hands raised up? From this first row, any contributor? So what's the theme? Oh, yes, thank you, sir. Then from the other row, anybody? Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, sir. Is a sir. From the last row, anybody? So let's have the second row. Nobody from the first row. Sir, can I have you? Thank you. While we're welcoming contributions, please, if you have questions that is agitating your mind, you can please put it down.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Please permit me to extend the existing courtesies. And without doubt, I want to appreciate the presenter for being apt. Within 10 minutes, they were able to deliver. I think they need a round of applause for that. Honestly, I'm highly impressed. Yes. To my comment and question, I'm Dr. Ayode Jolatunde from Ekiti State University, Ado Ekiti. Now, this disruption by internet, there's nothing we can do about it. We need to welcome it. But there is a need for adequate preparation. Sasama, we are having a serious challenge, especially in our terrain in Nigeria. Very few days ago, I was in the policy meeting in Abuja for JAM, so that we can come up with a policy statement as Director of Academic Affairs in EXO. There and then we were made to understand that some of our young people, they are coming out with some kind of their own technology which is disrupting the existing disruption in a negative way. One, they use AI to blend the picture of two candidates together. After it has been blended, when you are looking at the picture and you are looking at the candidate sitting for the examination, if you are looking for the number one person who is engaging the other person to sit, the picture will look like him. And to the another person, the picture will also look like him. It took a lot of security for them to be able to unravel some. That is number one. Number two, albino, in order to capture albino through the internet, there was a need to relax the camera in order to capture them so that they can, we are talking about the principle of inclusiveness. So after they are relaxed, they find out that somewhere in the southeast, a lot of candidates registered as albino candidates. And they scored high marks. It was the high marks that created curiosity. That what's going on there? They now find out that it is through the use of AI that many of these candidates are not albinos. So my concern now is this. As managers, we need to be proactive. How do we now go about security of our data and of our system in order for it not to be compromised? And I have a second concern. The second concern is that, like many of our discussants said, you can make use of AI to do many of the jobs that some of the people working with us in our offices now are doing. And if that is the case, where are we heading to? Because we have the proportion of unemployment rate already existing. And we know the consequences of this unemployment. They will engage them somewhere in a negative way. At hoodlums, at Boko Harams, bandits, and terrorists. Our security agents are here. So how do we now manage it? How do we do it? When we are engaging AI, many people are not engaged again. How do we now put the twin together so that we can work well? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those two questions. Wow. Okay. You want to answer the question now? Okay, you have another question. Okay. All right. Let me have this. Let me have the second row. Please, I hope you have noted that question. Who will answer it? I think it's the digital woman. So let's have, sir, you. Oh, our fellow sir. You're welcome. Thank you, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Thank you, moderator, President, Chairman of Council, and our distinguished dignitaries and delegates here. It is said that if you are as good today as you were yesterday, you will be irrelevant for tomorrow. I say again, if you are as good today as you were yesterday, you will be irrelevant for tomorrow. That means you need to continue to improve yourself daily. So, digitalization is no longer an option. It is the way to go for organizations and individuals. So, as a data scientist, my question is to our keynote speaker. What effort are you making to influence public and private organizations to go digital? Because some may want to suppress it so that transparency may be somehow affected in the organization. So, do you want to look at, for instance, sponsoring a bill at the National Assembly? Or if there is such a bill, you want to educate us on it, so that private and public organizations mandatorily, know that this is what they need to do. Thank you, sir.
Please, let's clap for him. Thank you, sir. Wow, that is a profound statement. If you are good as you are yesterday, today, you will become irrelevant tomorrow. That is talking about dynamism. You must be able to adapt to change. One thing that is inimminent in life is change. And incidentally, most systems now, even promotion examinations now, they are now going digital, from where I retired from. Hitherto were analog in doing promotion exams, but I learned now is now computer-based exam, even for civil service in the National Orientation Agency, where I retired from. So we must adapt to change. It's so imminent. So the question there is, to the kid, where's the keynote speaker? Okay, thank you, sir. So that question is directed to you, sir. Are you planning to sponsor a bill to ensure that all organizations now go digital? Yeah. And one thing that has helped Nigeria, that in time of our adversity, one thing that has helped us during the COVID era, because I was in the system then, a lot of civil servants between grade level 1 to 12 were asked to stay back at home. And the management cadre were asked to work. How many of us can bear witness to that? And incidentally, the system ran. And we were able to cope. So I was wondering that if AI and computer and all this digital something is taking over the work of civil servants, what will happen with unemployment? And that has been brought to the fore now. So please, we want answers to this question. But last but not, I think I had somebody from that last row. Is there anybody still from that row? No. So let's welcome our registrar. Oh, before we welcome her, let me take this one. There's a question that's been handed over to me. It says, in the last 2023 presidential election, Nigerians were assured severally that IREL will be used to ensure the votes of the populace counted. In the end, it was compromised. How can we tackle this threat to digitalization in our society? So please, let's put that down. I think I will have something to say along that line too. So while we are pondering on those questions, can I have our registrar, FNIM, Mrs. Alaja Olushesi? You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much. Mr. President and Chairman of Council, our distinguished guests, and of course professional managers. Mine is just an intervention. First, I want to really appreciate our keynote speaker and of course the panelists for doing justice to the topic. Looking at what we've started since January, our digital president, our emphasis has been on artificial intelligence and everything that has to do with information science technology. So what we are looking at doing in the institutes going forward is to review our curriculum. Right from the beginning, we're going to be incorporating artificial intelligence, particularly ethical AI. Ethical AI is using, artificial intelligence in a very ethical way. I want to urge us, when the time comes and this curriculum goes live, we are going to be doing refresher courses for those of us who are already members. And then we want you to also be champions of the new NIM that is going digital. It's going to be part of our curriculum. No professional manager would not be AI certified in the next 1 year. That's what I want to just tell us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Powerful information. So if you are still analog, please go digital. Knowing fully well that to retain our membership, we are going to do an upgrading through digitalization. The Lord will help us. Nigerians, aren't we so blessed? We have this brain, but we wish we could always use it in the positive way. Can you imagine? When JAMB is still trying to walk around getting good data, some younger ones are trying to jeopardize that effort. May God help us in this country. God will help us. So, the first question. Okay, yes, let's see. Can this mic get to the table? Okay. Is a panel, it has stopped me. It can go round. All right. So, who is tackling the first question?
Thank you very much for the interrogations we received. I'll be speaking on the general issue, while my colleague will be speaking more directly to the technical issues. I'm dealing with the issue of AI replacing workforce. How do we deal with this? Ladies and gentlemen, let me make this statement first of all. If we as managers refuse to change and adapt, change will change us. And when change changes you, it's not convenient. It will come with a lot of stress. And that's why it's very important for us as managers to learn to begin to adapt to circumstances that are coming up. As a professional manager, look, there's nothing that is rocket science anymore. Put something out, put it on ChatGPT, put it on any of these things, they will come up with answers. You can even put your name to start, and you are surprised that the world knows about you. There's no hiding place anymore. So as managers, one thing that's very important, we say we are managers because of knowledge. Number one, you have knowledge of the environment, you have knowledge of what to do, you have the skill, and you have the professional training. You need to bring all these to bear to be relevant in the years ahead. I'm aware that artificial intelligence is taking care of a lot of things, but there's still the need for you, unless you can now apply and use this to further your work. That's where your relevance is. Where you are unable to do that, you are going to be parked aside. And that will be very unfortunate. For us as managers, if you refuse to change, change will change you. But when change changes you, it's never convenient. So I like to say that, yes, AI is there. We are now making robots to do quite a lot of things. But the human capacity to coordinate, which is one thing that managers do, will still be essential. If you do not do that, robots will go haywire and they can be disruptive. But we as human beings, with our knowledge, with our skills, with our training, can control, and we put this AI in perspective to be usable to ensure growth and development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think I want to redirect this question. The first question talks about the disruption from internet. There's the need for adequate preparations. Youths using AI to defraud internet facilities. So the question is, how do we go about security of data and system management so that they will not be compromised? Dr. Akimbo.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I would like to put out this quote, which says, "It is not the strongest species that survives, not the most intelligent, but the most adaptable to change." Charles Darwin. That is 1809 to 1882. We have the Department of Cybersecurity, and in computing, I want us to understand something. Whatever you are creating today, if the security of that application or website is not secured, I want to tell you, in this world we have, that entire stuff you're creating is not saved. Now, we have generations. I'm talking about Generation X, Millennials, then Generation Z, Gen Z, that we call Gen Z. The Generation X people starts from 1960. If you're born in 1965, stars and mass. The Millennials are from 1981. And the Gen Z, they are from 1997. Now, where am I going? The Gen Z people are the technology-savvy people. They are native, they are technology natives. So if you are building a company or an organization based on Gen X or the millennials, you can imagine who your clients will be. The agent, if you agree with me. And they are just learning, relearning, or unlearning some things, unlike the Gen Z. Now, let's talk about the security. You have a system that you have created. There is no system as it is in the world today that is not going to be okay, that will be okay without the security of that system. In computing science, we have what is called the ethics hacker and the malicious hacker. Now, this is another discipline that is really very, very good, and they are making waves everywhere now. The malicious hackers, you know, when you hear hackers, to a lame person, you feel, they are bad people, they are bad people, they are hackers, they are hackers. We have ethical hackers. That is their discipline. What do? They will take up that web or that application you have built, and they will be looking for the potholes every time, every day, every minute, to seek for loopholes where all these malicious hackers can hack into and block it promptly before they discover that. So if you are building anything now and you are not security conscious of whatever you are building, I'm sorry, it is gone. So please, you have to take the security aspect of that thing very, very serious. And when we are talking about students or the Gen Z, you know, breaking through securities, it is the same AI that you are going to use to secure that kind of stuff. The other person that talked the other time, the man that talked the other time, I'm sorry, said they have albinos and whatever. That same AI will be the one to be built to secure that particular applications, and it will do it very well. Because if you think by your own understanding, manually, you cannot get it. But when you put some features, like machine learning, for instance, now, I talk about the X-ray images I collected from unheard facilities. How was the AI able to recognize those features, the patterns, to be able to know this particular X-ray images has pneumonia, why the other is not? They were able to read the patterns that were fed into the computer vision to be able to know that this thing, when this pattern looks like this, it shows pneumonia disease. The same AI will be the one to be used to secure that system, and they won't be able to break it. That is the truth. So thank you very much. And if we are talking about that, the first discussion, sir, Dr. Oguruku said, talk about AI. AI will take the place of some jobs. It's a fact. That is it in this current world. But may I also tell you that AI creates jobs as well. As it's taking jobs, maybe in the analog side, it also replacing such job. So we are telling you now that you need to reskill or upskill so as to measure up with what is happening in the world. There's no two ways about it. You just have to learn it. Thank you very much.
That is why we have an expert here to deal with these questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Akimbo, for that wonderful response. Before I take the next question, another question slipped in while we were rounding up. The question says, for some of us who are in construction work, how can we make use of AI to work at site in order to reduce the theft at site work? So those that are stealing cement, that are stealing, so how do you tackle that? So please keep that in abeyance. I will now, you have two questions already, sir. So the first question you have, sir, our keynote speaker, is that what efforts are you making to get organizations to go digital? And the need, maybe there must be a need to sponsor a bill in that respect. Then you take this current question. How do you tackle theft at construction sites through AI?
Thank you very much. Effort being made to influence private and government organizations to implement digitalization. We sponsor a bill. I will be answering that question from different perspectives. We are told that necessity is what? The mother of invention. They told us in advanced countries, light don't go. But have you found out why light is always on? Why in Nigeria you might survive without light for maybe a day? In those advanced countries, if light goes off for 1 hour, there will be many dead bodies. Yes, for those of us who have traveled out, they will just freeze up like that. What are we saying? You see, digitization has come to play. We remember the first industrial revolution. Africa didn't make much impact. The same thing, second industrial revolution, the third. We are now in the fourth, and we are even looking at the fifth. But I can assure you that Africans are ready. Are you following me? For instance, we talk about e-transact. These are African innovations that were even taken to overseas countries. We don't need to be forced. We will just begin to use it without forcing anybody. And I don't believe that government can do much about that. Because even the one that we did for government, like the election, something you are talking about, that they want to find ways of throwing it out so that we can go back to a manual system. Because of the nature of Africans, or black people, we want to throw it away. You see that government that now that we want everything to survive, this thing will survive, I mean, through our individual collective efforts. Because I don't believe government can support us as such. Is that okay? Then they told us that they asked a question that how can theft be minimized in construction companies? We have what is called Internet of Things. Internet of Things involve putting what is called tags in your construction sites. in all the things you are using there, in your cement, even your machinery and everything, you put tag there. And we have several of them. We have ones that can capture, that can sense, and what's it called? Taking something away. Yes, we have also some sensors that can take the picture of the person who is taking that thing away. So as you are taking it away, it's recording it and it's sending it to your mobile device. The person who is taking it and what has been taken away. So we have the technology. There are miniaturized sensors that you just sensing devices that you just attach to those materials. They are using it already in advanced countries. The moment you take that thing away, it will sense that something has been taken away, and it will send it to the control center or the mobile devices of the person monitoring that something, and alert maybe the security people to arrest the person immediately. We have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our panelists, our keynote speaker. You have just handled those two questions concerning the IREV. But like I did mention earlier, Nigerians, we are always very smart. But we just pray we become smart in the right direction. That question has been answered by our digital mommy here. She said, for you to only omonola rosinabi, tabada fe she wukinikon. I can't remember that pro adage now. Yes. Ono lamalu. If you use AI to compromise a system, you now use that same AI to correct it. So we just have to be smarter than those that want to commit atrocities. On this note, I want to really appreciate our panelists, Dr. Ayanride Oluride Oguruku. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for the enlightenment you have given us this morning. I also thank Dr. Mrs. Akimbo Rachel. Thank you so much, ma. And I equally thank our keynote speaker for doing a wonderful job and a yeoman's business. Thank you so much. I want to thank NIM for this privilege given out to me to moderate. Thank you so much. Our president, our registrar, and the entire council members. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let us applaud our discussants and, of course, our moderator, a great Nawajian. Our president, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to implore our guests to please come back to the high table as we conclude the program. You don't want to come back, sir? Okay, sir. President, distinguished chairman, president and chairman of council, NIM, the registrar, the representative of the DG of Akure, our distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to recognize and welcome the representative of the governor of Ondo State. He's ably represented here this afternoon by Chief Oluwagbenga Akingbasote, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Mr. Governor, you're welcome. Before I invite Mr. Governor to present his address, I would like to invite the Southwest Zone Chairman, who is our Chief Host, Alhaji Ebun Atinuke, FNIM, to make some presentations quickly. The Zonal Chairman, please. Maybe while waiting for him, okay. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir, for the presentation. Let's welcome Alhaji Ebun Atinuke, our Chief Host, Chairman Southwest Zone of the NIM, FNIM, FSI, FANC, PHF. They said they are comfortable there.
Well, we want to once again appreciate the very vibrant and resourceful presentation by our keynote presenter, the two wonderful discussants, and our moderator. But because we have to express our token of appreciation to them, on behalf of the President and Chairman of Council of the Nigerian Institute of Management, Shatach, may I have the honor and privilege to invite the representative of our keynote presenter. So please step forward. Please put your hands together for him as I invite our president to please do us the honor to make the presentation. Mr. President, sir, let's put our hands together for the president, please.
A very effective and efficient discussant. We really appreciate you. We thank you. And we also hope that in the nearest future, when we call upon you, 2026 summit, which Alhaji Atinuke is taking us to Rwanda, I hope you will be there once again. Thank you very much.
The last, but definitely not least, note or token of appreciation is to one of us who happens to be the wonderful charter chairman of NIM, Alagbaka Charter. Join me as I invite Mr. Solawumi Famuyiwa, MNI, to please step forward to receive our token of appreciation, having served as the moderator at this particular program. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Zonal Chairman. Ma'am, this is presented to you, Mrs. Olawumi Famuyiwa, MNI. One interesting thing is that nearly all, if not all, our resource persons are MNIM, and I think they are overdue for FNIM. We and Pioneer Chapter Chairman of Alagbaka Chapter, Mr. Olawumi Famuyiwa, we thank you for this very, very wonderful coordination of the discussion session. Hoping that you find a very nice place to put it in your study or your office, and then we hope that when we call upon you again, you will oblige us. Thank you very much.
Please, we want to invite the awardees and the keynote speaker to please join quickly for a group photograph. The representative of the keynote speaker are discussants, and the representative of the DG, please, can you join? The representative of His Excellency, the Governor, please, can you join? All council members, you are asked to join. The Rector, Federal Polytechnic, Ileoluji, please join, and the representative of the Commissioner of Police, please, can you join in the photograph? Okay, the branch chairman, please, I'm sorry. Please, the branch chairman, please, I'm sorry. Please, can you join? I'm very sorry. You are our host. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Shall we return to our seat? Eh? A quick one, please. Thank you very much. Before I invite the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, I would like to implore you to join me in welcoming the Akure South Local Government dancers to give us a brief cultural display. Akure South Local Government.
Onike ojú ìyá o aya mọ́gbulé. Oyè yé o aya mọ́gbulé. Orílẹ̀ dání ọ̀darí. Onike ojú Olódùmarè kí ìyá o aya mọ́gbulé. Mọ́gbulé ìyànà mi ìpè lóye mẹ́kun o. Ìyànà mi ìpè lóye mẹ́kun o. Àkúrẹ́ ló bí méjì ọ̀pọ̀ èjèèjì lálá o. Ìpèrè ó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó domi ọmọ. Ayé mi ìṣàkúrẹ́ kì í mọ̀mọ́ lálá o. Àlá tèmi ẹ́ nínú ọ̀kẹ́ yèyé mi mo kí i. Abímbọ́lá kọ́mándà mo kí ọ. Bàbá ọmọ. Ìyànà mi ìpè lóye mẹ́kun o. Yíyẹ láyé mi oko mọ̀mọ́ bọ́ níre mi ròde. Yíyẹ láyé mi oko mọ̀mọ́ bọ́ níre mi ròde. Ẹ̀bùn Àtinúkẹ́ mo kí ọ Abẹ́òkúta. Yíyẹ láyé mi oko mọ̀mọ́ bọ́ níre mi ròde. Yíyẹ láyé mi oko mọ̀mọ́ bọ́ níre mi ròde. Mo ṣe kàre. Mọ̀nà kò ní bó ṣe kàre. Olùlé ibi ká. Olùlé kàre. Barista láti ní mélòó mo kí ọ. Olùlé kàre. Bàbá o. Olùlé kàre. Olùlé ibi ká o. Olùlé kàre. Sísá olùṣe sí. Olùlé kàre. Olùlé kàre. Olùlé ibi ká o. lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ bàbá ọmọ o.
Kárírà o, ọdọọdún là rírà o.
Kárírà o, ọdọọdún là rírà kò.
Kárírà o, ọdọọdún là rírà o.
Amọ̀kú ayọ̀ òní.
Aláyọ̀ òdedere.
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 Ìdí abúlé uléyà o, èrò òye.
Ìjà abúlé uléyà o.
Ìdí abúlé uléyà o, èrò òye kété.
Ìjà abúlé uléyà o.
Ìdí abúlé uléyà o.
Ìjà abúlé uléyà o.
Ìdí abúlé uléyà o.
Ìjà uléyà o.
Rírà kò ọdọọdún là rírà kò.
Ọdọọdún là rírà o.
Ọdọọdún lè ṣe pàrọwé là rírà kò.
Rírà o, ọdọọdún là rírà o.
Rírà kò ọdọọdún
A big round of applause for the Akure South Cultural Troupe for that beautiful presentation. Please, I would like to implore us, those of us taking photographs outside, please, ushers, can you direct them to come in, please? Those taking photographs outside will do that. We are almost through to the program. The President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to invite the representative of the Governor of Ondo State, Chief Oluwagbenga Akingbasote, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, for Mr. Governor's address. Please let's put our hands together as it's coming. Please let us come in, please.
Thank you very much. The President of Council and the Registrar of the Nigerian Institute of Management, the Executive of the Southwest Zone, the various chapters in Ondo State, members of NIM, invited guests, presenters that have spoken earlier, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I greet you, good afternoon, on behalf of the Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa, who wanted to be here but unavoidably absent because of other state engagements. And so he directed the state head of service, Mr. Bayo Philip, to ask me to represent him at this occasion. But of course, he's here with us in spirit, and whatever message, just as I've heard before I came to the podium, and even the messages that I will hear after will be passed on to Mr. Governor. So his apologies for not being here presently. Mr. President, sir, and Chairman, I hope you are listening to me, sir. I just tendered the apology of Mr. Governor for not physically being present here. And I must apologize for coming a little bit late for the program. It's not in our culture, but the message got to me a little bit late. But I had to rush down. And I will say, just as I was introduced, my name is Oluwagbenga Akingbasote, MNI. Yes, MNI. But I will also proud I'll be proud to say that I'm a member of this institute also. So I will just call myself Oluwagbenga Kingbasote, MNIM. So I carry both honors, and it's my pleasure, even though I've not been too active, I must confess, I've not been too active in the institute, but I think I must have a change of heart right now. I see somebody clapping there. Now, Mr. Governor has asked me to congratulate the various chapters in Ondo State and the Southwest Zone for the success of today's summit. And we are aware that this is the first time Ondo State, I think I'm right, it's the first time Ondo State is hosting the Southwest Zone of the summit. So we are very pleased to have you in our midst. We are glad that you could count us worthy to host this program. And I want to also congratulate all the zonal chapters and FUTA especially. I think they are in the forefront of representation on NIM. A round of applause for them, please. Yes, the theme of the summit, Building Resilient Organization, the role of professional managers in uncertain times, is very apt. We are indeed in uncertain times, and we, all as managers, must up our game and think outside the box to be able to achieve organizational goals. I must tell you that we are in a period in Nigeria where managers need to think critically. Of course, we are managers of both human and material resources. We are not just managers by mouth. We must be managers to deliver on the goals and objectives of our various organizations. I must say that things are not really looking up in our dear nation, Nigeria. I happened to listen to some of the conversation that occurred. What are we really producing in Nigeria? Nigeria is a nation that is not really producing much. Don't let me use the word nothing. To the extent that even the toothpick that we use, most of them are brought from outside the countries. They are imported. We are a nation of general consumers and not producers. And that is one of the reasons why our naira keeps falling. We are just buying from outside nation. Even the petrol that we claim to have, crude oil, thank God for the likes of Aliko Dangote. Before him, we will take this crude oil outside the country, refine it, and then bring it back. Does that make sense? I ask a question, does that make sense, please? It doesn't. And that is why we as managers must up our game. All that is being said here, yes, we know all the challenges. People talk of AI. Yeah, it is even more relevant to us because if you engage people in your organization today, All they think about is how to steal. All they think about is how to enrich themselves. They do not want to know how much the manager or the chief executive have invested in that organization. But they want to enrich themselves, even though they are driving that organization into the ground. So, how do you get out of this mess? These are issues for various management organizations and so on to think about. Of course, that is why I love that question. Somebody asked, where people are stealing cement, stealing this, stealing that. How do you prevent such? How do you prevent such? Where you have a farm of poultry, layers, and then you produce 10 crates of eggs, and then somebody, so they steal 6 crates out of 10. Even the remaining 4, you know, is it not a loss? I own a farm, and the farm where I am, on a daily basis, I'm being inundated by people going in and stealing. Is it encouraging? It's not encouraging. These are issues that we must think about on a daily basis. So I appreciate you, sirs and ma'ams, for bringing up this kind of summit. It's not something that we should just come together and marry, eat, dance and go, but to provide solution to our various problems. These are problems that are facing us, realities that are facing us. On behalf of the government and people of Ondo State, I want to say thank you and just mention a few things that the present administration has been doing. The agenda for the present administration is our ease. Our ease. And the administration that is just over 100 days in office has been able to do a number of things. Recruitment of 1,000 primary school teachers. Recruitment of another 1,000 secondary school teachers. I think we should give Mr. Governor a round of applause. Of course, these teachers are recruited to impact knowledge on our children, and they have since resumed at their duty post. Other workers that were recruited by the administration include health workers, doctors, nurses, midwives, and other category of health workers. We also have recruitment of forestry and produce officers. That one is ongoing as we speak. Our forest, if you look at is depleted seriously because we don't have enough hands to man the forest. Forest guards most of them have retired, and that is why we need to replace them. Road construction works are ongoing, and the DG would attest to it that during the 100 days in office of Mr. Governor, a number of roads in Akure were commissioned, and the DG and other traditional rulers were physically present. Apart from commissioning those roads that were ongoing by the previous administration, completed by this new administration, the present administration flagged off a number of roads, which include Akure Idonri dualization, that's Okiaro to Idonri. We also have flag off of Akungba Ikare Road, that's the dual carriage road from Akungba to Ikare, which is going to benefit the tertiary institution there, majorly. We all know that Akungba used to face a lot of accidents around that area. But thank God for the intervention of the state government now. We also have the dual carriage road from Igbokoda to Okitipupa, which is also going to benefit another tertiary institution there, that is the state university around that zone. Apart from this, we also are aware that government has been supporting tertiary institutions in the state by release of subventions and other means. I must say, FUTA is now having a college of medicine, isn't it, man? And we know that where you are using now as for your programs, that is the teaching hospital, used to be owned by the state government. But the state government, with the mind of making this institution to come up speedily, release that Akure Teaching Hospital to Federal University of Technology, Akure. I think we need to give Mr. Governor a round of applause for that. In the area of power generation, the state government is also doing much through power sector reform and open access to electricity generation. Before now, it used to be in the exclusive preserve of the federal government. But with the liberalization, Ondo State is leading in deregulating power generation and also providing prepaid meters. I have it. It's not just theoretical. I have the state-owned prepaid meter that I've installed and is working. Mr. President, the registrar, chapter chairman, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say emphatically that Mr. Governor Lucky Orimison Ayedatiwa has promised to support your institute, to give enough support for all the management and corporate institutes that are in Ondo State to succeed, and that includes NIM. I'm going to get back to Mr. Governor to pass the message from this summit to him, and then the contact of the leaders of the institute I will also get, so that that support will continue. So I wish you fruitful deliberations in the summit. God bless you.
Shall we sustain the applause for Mr. Governor? Thank you very much. I would like to invite the Southwest Zone Chairman to do some presentations.
Yes. Thank you so much, my professional anchor lady. Wow. Your Excellency, sir, the Ondo State Governor, powerfully represented by you, we appreciate that your wonderful speech. And we know that being a sunshine state, with that commitment, the sun has already begun to shine on NIM by the grace of God, courtesy Ondo State. So we want to extend our token of appreciation to His Excellency for supporting NIM and for them to also do more than they have done. Let me invite the President to please assist us to make the presentation. Put your hands together for the president, please. The registrar.
Your Excellency, ably represented, His Excellency Dr. Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, Executive Governor of Ondo State, the Sunshine State, we present to you this memento, which is a code of conduct of the Institute. And if you go through it, you will realize that it will make your work easy if the message of our code of conduct is permeated across all sectors of it. It will ease your work because it is meant at bringing people to diligence, to honesty, to perseverance, and all those other qualities that you will find in this beautiful NIM Code of Conduct. Thank you very much for the support that you give us, and God bless you. To the governor also. Your Excellency, this is a token, a further token of our appreciation for your support and also promises that you've given to us. And we hope you find a nice place to put in your office. In fact, when you work for hours, you should be able to rest your back on this, believing that the NIM is solidly behind you. Thank you very much. The representative of the government. You know that you also left your table to attend to the governor's call. However, we don't want to leave this venue without having a taste of some of the souvenir and memento that we have in this. This is for you, sir. Please, let's give you a round of applause.
This is presented to Dr. Umar M. Mustafa, FNIM, Deputy President, and Nigerian Institute of Management. Today, 17 July 2025, and we wish you abide by the code of conduct. Thank you.
While I invite the ESCO member, council member, Princess Stella Olaniyan, to please step forward to come and receive, on behalf of the national president, the national treasurer. And I want to invite another council member, Commodore Sunday Oguntade, to come and make this presentation, please. You are receiving on behalf of the national treasurer.
Thank you, our national treasurer. You have been keeping our money very safe. Very safe. So we appreciate you. So on behalf of Southwest Zone, the #1 zone in the Institute, we present this to you. Please help us to convey it to our amiable national treasurer.
Congratulations. Yes, gradually. We are getting there. 2 more awards to go. And this particular award is in recognition of the wonderful participation and commitment to the Institute through the Southwest Zone. May I have the pleasure to invite all members of NIM from Ogun State to please step forward. Ogun State. If you know you are from any chapter in Ogun State, can you please step forward? Though some of them have taken their leave because they are returning to base, but we have the ones that are still part of this summit. And the reason why I've actually invited them to come out is because by way of mobilization, participation, registration, and attendance at this summit, Ogun State is being awarded as the best branch. Can you please put your hands together for Ogun State branch? And this award is being presented to the chairman of the Ogun State branch, Pastor Emmanuel Oshinaiki, MNI. Congratulations. Though it is Ogun State that is there, not your name. Congratulations. Now, if you know you are in white attire, don't go yet. Stay back. Yes, if you know you are putting on white top, don't go yet. I don't know where they come from, but I can see that their uniform is not only attractive, but also, no, they are not oppressors. They are always there. And I'm happy to note that the chapter chairman, my namesake, Professor Mrs. Ebu Yolon for MNIM, who is overdue to be called FNIM. Are you promising me that by next year we will process you for a fellow?
Yes, sir.
Please put hands together for her. I have a total number of about 50 members of the Southwest chapter that paid, registered, and are participating at this summit. Can you please put hands together for them? And that is why they are coasting home with the best chapter award. Congratulations to Taishola University of Education, NIM chapter. Congratulations. You are not oppressors. You are only setting the standard. Okay, so congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. You are welcome. Congratulations. Where is our MC? MC, please. MC, please.
MC, please.
The Zonal Secretary. The Zonal Secretary, are you there? Okay.
Thank you very much. I will now invite the Zonal Secretary, Mrs. E.O. Talabi Akinbile, FNAIM, for the vote of thanks.
The President and Chairman of Council, the Registrar, the Council members, Fellows of the Institute, representative of DG of Akure, representative of the Governor, Commodore Ogunsade Council member, Branch Chairman, Chapter Chairman, moderators, Brigadier General Komolafe, Air Commodore Amirin, all delegates present here and online, members of security team, including the Amotekun Security Services, and pressmen. Let me appreciate every one of you for taking time to come for this 2025 Southwest Zonal Summit. It's been an indeed awesome experience since we got to this Southwest, since we got to this Sunshine State. So I want to pray that as we go back to our various destinations, we shall arrive safely. And when we call you next year, please don't hesitate to come. In case you've seen any flaws, just forgive us. And let's, as professional managers, move forward henceforth. And please don't let us forget that come July 25, we have extraordinary general meeting, which we expect every bona fide members of NIM to be in attendance, either online or on site, as we continue in our daily activities towards that day. I pray that God will keep us. Thank you very much for coming. Adele Bare Arinokore Afkoyaibi Lagbara Olorun. Thank you very much. Amen.
Chairman, the local organizing committee chairman, and the entire members of Ondo State for this wonderful summit. You will agree with me that this year's summit sincerely is spectacular. Spectacular in the sense that we were able to learn one or two things from our previous programs, and that is why we were able to improve on it significantly. Is it in the area of certificates, area of program brochure, or entertainment? So I want to appreciate all of us for coming and wish us journey mercies to our respective destinations. Adele Bare, Arinokore, Afoyaibi. I want to appreciate all of you. See you in Ibadan, your state, next year. Love you all. Love you all. Love you all.
Please, LOC members, let's quickly hold a brief. LOC members,